Hello, guys. Welcome to the Slip Cordon. It's the test season, and we have a full house. Two Namans and Aditya Mehta. I have to start by asking Naman Shah, where have you been all this
Yes,
while?
serving the multiple billionaires of our country,
That's a
quite
good answer.
literally.
I think there are some 15 men out there who are going to serve the nation soon. We have to speak about the test match that's going to happen, and that's why we are gathered here. What do we expect out of these young men who are going to face on England at their home conditions?
Survive, please survive.
But
That's my this thing.
Aditya, what are you expecting out of Shubman Gill, the captain?
I'm hoping to be surprised and hopefully they come up with one or two, those classic wins that you don't expect out of underdog Indian team, which we saw in the 2021 Australia series, something like that, hopefully.
Let us hope. Naman Shah, according to you, the lineup is fine. The What is the playing 11 look like according to you? Have we gone with the right selections?
CR at this point, no. I want see. I am very conflicted, but at the same time, it's hope out of hope. Considering this is somewhat of a young team in very foreign conditions, so hope out of hope they do well. Considering एक fight एक oh, in as we say in English, they have that fire inside them. But I generally don't think it's a good lineup because the lack of experience is very damning. Considering if your most experienced campaigners are Jasprit Bumrah, Ravindra Jadeja, then I think somewhere or the other there is somewhat of a problem because see Yashasvi great bat, Shubman great bat, but it's England and their bowlers understand those conditions better than ours at least. So I am worried, but I think they could fare well considering they have the fight in them.
Naman Mehta, what's the threat? What is stopping India to conquer England?
Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. These were the two people. So these were the two people I thought that would stop India from conquering. But now since they are not there, I think India can win. See, I won't hold back my words today because I have seen that if you have an opener and a middle order batsman who is struggling, you can't win, which is what exactly happened right in Australia. Your number one, number four player were not scoring runs. You replace them with people who can score 20 runs more in that place. You get another 40, 50 runs in a partnership. And then you go on to not, if not win the match, but be in a better position than you were in Australia. All hands, like, kudos to what Kohli has done, but let's accept that outside of वाला weakness उसका वहां पे anyways होने वाला था. तो ठीक है, let's move ahead. But one thing that looks good for India is that England don't have quality experienced fast bowlers, which India does have in Siraj and Bumrah. उनके पास कोई fast bowler- there's no Anderson, there's no Markwood, there's no Jofra Archer, there is no Stuart Broad. Only I think Chris Woakes is there. So
Correct.
maybe if you can negate the new ball, play out 30, 40 odd overs, which KL Rahul and Shubman Gill should be able to score at least.
I agree with your points. I just think that the top three would be interesting to see from India's perspective. Who will make that top three lineup? And again, the England bowling is inexperienced, as you mentioned. So whether they are able to capitalize or not is a thing that's something that I'll be looking forward to. But I think England batting is sorted out. They have the experience of
Yeah,
Joe Root and Ben Stokes in their lineup. So I think batting wise, they are pretty much sorted. Bowling again, very inexperienced, but our Indian batters are also relatively inexperienced. So that contest I think should be even, but England again go on with an advantage playing at home with the quality that they have. So I think they pretty much are favorites to win this series. Uh, that's my prediction. But Aditya, in terms of that number four spot for India, you think Shubman Gill would be able to replicate what Virat has done?
Uh, I don't know if he'll be able to replicate, but I think at this point he's the best choice that India has in the current situation. Now again, Kohli hadn't been doing that well at that number four spot since the last 2 3 years, so I wouldn't say you would see a big difference unless Shubman like performs very badly. So I think it's a good thing to sort of shake up the batting lineup after two big retirements. You sort of need to inject new people in that number three, number six spot. So yeah, I think with the current squad also, it looks like Shubman needs to bat at four with Jaiswal and Rahul opening probably. So again, that's where I feel the main difference is the batting. Whoever bats better for once in this series is probably going to win it. Mostly they say it's the bowling that makes the difference, but here I see the bowling being on par for both the teams, considering England team's experience with their home ground and India having good pacers in Siraj, Bumrah, and with even Arshdeep, Prasidh, Krishna, Akashdeep, they are quite decent in tests. So yeah, I think with Root, Pope, Crawley, all of them having so much experience, that's where the Indian batsmen have to step up, especially the debutants or people like Karun Nair who would probably come back after a long time.
Namansha, what's your prediction and players to watch out for? Whom do you see winning the series?
Up first, I'm really disappointed with Kamboj not staying back. यार नेट बॉलर की तरह तो रखना था because I
Hmm.
think he's understood the conditions well, especially with the entire India hit tour that happened. And देखो यार हर्षित राणा must be a good bowler. I really don't know. I've seen quite a lot of him in tests now, and I really don't see what Gotham sees. But in case Gambhir still wants to back him, it's there. But for me, I feel that if at all we're going to play that inexperienced card, maybe Kamboj and the likes were supposed to be given that shot, considering how fiery Kamboj was. See, so he's controlled runs, he's taken enough wickets. That's enough, I feel. And as for someone who's that inexperienced in England conditions, that should be more than enough. Coming to what my predictions are, I agree with Aditya here that I think England's batting might have an edge over us overall, considering the overall test experience as well as being their home advantage. But again, I think it could be fairly poised. Maybe just maybe a very tightly fought win for England rather than a whitewash. And players to watch out for, I'd give multiple options. So for Indian batting, I'd say Sai because he's had one heck of a season in the IPL. And bowling wise, Arsh, considering how well he's done in the county, I don't know if he's going to get a chance to play considering both Boom and Siraj are there. But in case he does, his county experience is going to come to play quite well. As for say England, Joe Root, of course, best of the best. There's no comparison. And bowling wise, Woakes. He's going to be the. This is his time to shine, considering he's going to be the leader of a Test bowling attack after a long time, or for the first time rather. So it's a good place for him to take on that role and maybe say push forward the entire England bowling unit.
Naman Mehta, for you?
See, I agree with Naman Shah that it's going to be an exciting series. But I would just like to say that if India do manage to win at least a couple of test matches, I would see this as a tick in terms of Shubman Gill's captaincy start, because you can't go beneath what happened at BGT. India obviously will win at least one test match. I am thinking of a scoreline of around the same thing, 3-1 or 3-2 in terms of in favor of England. Obviously, they will win the series. And my players to watch out for would be the contest of the all-rounders, Ben Stokes and Ravindra Jadeja. I would say of the England team. He has just he is now fit as well, so he'll be bowling, he'll be
Hmm.
batting, and he'll be batting as an aggressor. But in terms of Jadeja, you won't have Bumrah playing all these test matches, so his experience really becomes important. His control in the middle overs, his importance in restricting the run flow, but also bowling so many overs that the bowlers can have reverse, which will be very important against Bazball. I think if he bowls approximately 15 to 17 overs within the first 50 overs or the 60 overs, then I think the ball can reverse between 60 to 80, which is where bowlers like Bumrah and Siraj can be used in potent 4 over spells. So I think the battle of the all rounders will decide the outcome of the series.
Very well said. And Aditya Mehta, for you, same question.
Yeah, so I'm going to be pragmatic, and I think it'll probably be a 3-1 or a 3-2 result in England's favor, as both the Namans already said. But I think when it comes to actually the players to watch out for, I'm not going to say Joe Root because he's established that way, but I think on both sides, the aggressive batsmen who take risks, those are the ones that I want to look out for. So in England, it's Harry Brook, who basically has an excellent test record in the last 2 to 3 years. And at that number five slot, I think he can take that game away from you if he starts batting the way he normally does. With India, I want to go with Pant. And this is the series that he really needs to step up now. We've seen him being the best wicket-keeper batsman in the world when it comes to Test cricket, and he needs to get back to that. And he needs to be there at again at that number five spot for India. So I think it's the battle of the number fives this time for me. And I think those are the ones who can really take the game away.
I collectively agree with all of you. But for me, player to watch out for would be Jaiswal. I think against that inexperienced new ball bowling of England, I think he should be someone who should take advantage and score bulk of the runs. And with the ball, of course,
Oh,
Siraj. I think, of course, Bumrah would be the main bowler leading the attack. But if I look at the duration of 5 test matches, I see him playing all of them, and he should play a crucial role if India goes on to win. But scoreline should be somewhere around 4-1 or 3-2. That is my prediction as well. And any last comments to sum it up? I can see people smiling. Anything to sum it up?
I have one comment.
Yes, please.
Bolo, bolo.
कोहली भाई अच्छा किया रिटायर होके, नहीं तो ये सीरीज के बाद आपको निकाल देते जूते मार के।
Let us all, we can come to the conclusion that, see, this is one chapter of the entire book, that is the World Test Championship. We are hoping that India comes out victorious, at least win 2 or 3 test matches, so that we at least come to the finals. Although we might not be hosting it, but that should be our aim, that we have to win the World Test Championship final. So hope to be a thrilling series. We'll catch you with the review of the first test match. Till then, peace.